Hello friends, and welcome back to another virtual story time with Miss Liz. Today's book is about nature, and so I am outside right now in Camden, New Jersey, where you can see grass and trees and a nice blue sky above. And we are going to read today a book about gardening. It is called The Little Gardiner. It's written by Emily Hughes and published by Flying Eye Books. If you look at this picture, we see a young person resting on a leaf. The leaf looks pretty big, doesn't it? I think we're going to find out more about what's happening as we read the story. Here we go. The Little Gardiner by Emily Hughes. Oh, I should say as we read, the back pages of this book became a little bit detached, so I'm going to try to hold them in there till the end. Here we go. This is the garden. Look at all those wonderful plants. Do you see them? So pretty. Well, it might not look like much. I guess there aren't too many big, beautiful flowers, just lots of small plants that have potential to grow big. It wasn't much, but it meant everything to its gardener. There he is in his big straw hat, looking very small compared to the rest of the garden. Our gardener is quite a small person indeed. The garden was his home. Here is his little straw house. The garden was his supper. Here he is with his friend, the worm, about to eat something they harvested from the garden. What else do you see in these pictures? I see a ladybug. I see some mushrooms. I see a nice, beautiful flower. The garden was his joy. Only he wasn't much good at gardening. Here he is trying to water this plant, but it just wasn't enough water. Oh no, someone dropped a soda can. That doesn't help the garden grow strong and healthy. It wasn't that the gardener didn't work hard to make his garden better. He worked hard. He worked very hard. But look at how small he is. Here he is right here pulling some weeds across the ground. Here he is, and here's the big garden he has to take care of. It seems like he's too small to make much of a difference. He was just too little. Here he looks upset, and so does his worm friend. But there was one thing that did blossom in his garden. Do you see this big stem? It was a flower. It was alive. It was wonderful. It gave the gardener hope, and it made him work even harder. He worked all morning planting seeds. He worked all afternoon cutting down weeds. He worked all night. Oh, look how tired he was by the end of the day. Poor gardener. Even his worm was curled up sleeping. Still, no matter how hard he worked, the garden was dying. Pests were eating away the leaves. Things were drooping because they weren't getting enough water. If this kept up, he would have no home. Here he is imagining his straw house is gone. He would have no supper. Here he is imagining that he and his worm have very little to eat. If his garden was gone, he would have no joy. One night, feeling tired and sad, the little gardener made a wish. What do you think he wished for? We're going to find out on the next page. He wished, I wish I had a bit of help. No one heard his little voice. He was so small. But someone saw his flower. Do you see in this picture, somebody is looking at the flower. Here's our gardener's house, and here's someone else. It looks like a regular sized person. And here must be their house where they live. I think the gardener's garden is these people's backyard, and they're noticing something beautiful is happening there. So this someone saw his flower. It was alive. It was wonderful. It gave the someone hope. It made the someone want to work harder. So here's the gardener in his little house feeling tired, and here is the someone who might just be about to make a difference in the gardener's life. The next day, the gardener was weary and slept the whole day. Here is the gardener sleeping, and outside, some people are working in the garden. The gardener slept the whole week. He slept the whole month. And do you see what was happening as he was sleeping? I see less weeds. I see more flowers. Oh boy. And when the gardener finally awoke, it had been just long enough for something to change. Do you see what changed? The garden is vibrant, it's alive, it's healthy, it's colorful, it is beautiful. And here is someone sitting on the porch enjoying it. Oh, did you see that helicopter go by? I saw it in the video and I can definitely hear it. Sorry about that. Reading outdoors can be very exciting. Today it's windy and a little noisy. Now, let's see what's gonna happen. The gardener had been asleep long enough for something to change. This is the garden now. Beautiful, full of flowers, and not just one little person is responsible. Now there are many people helping, and together they've made a difference. This is the garden, and this is its gardener. He didn't look like much, but he means everything to his garden. The end. I hope you all enjoyed today's story. I think this story was about caring about things that are important to you and not being afraid to ask for help. And maybe it's even taught you to look out for the good that you can do in every day. Thank you all for reading with me yet again. I will see you tomorrow for more great books. Thanks for watching.